Okay. 6.2, logarithm and logarithmic functions. These are your examples. Okay. Um, the main thing is that you realize that this is true. The y equals the log base b of x is the same thing as b to the power y is equal to x. Let me make that even bigger for you. Remember, got to remember this. Okay, so the base of the log is the base in expression. The answer to the log problem is the exponent of the exponential expression, and the x answer is the argument of the log. So let's put this to work. So let's go back to problem one. Like, for example, the log base 3 of 243, 5 is what? What exponent will we put on a 3 that gives us 245? So 3 to the 5th power is 243. Okay? So 2 to what power is equal to 8? 2 to the 3rd power is equal to 8. 4 to what power? 4 to what power will give us to 1 over 256? Well, that. So 4 to the 4th power, 4 to the negative 4th power is 1 over 256. All right? So that's example one. That's example one. Now let's look at the example two problems. Let's go the other way. So 6 to the negative 3rd power is the same as 1 over 16. To write that as a log, you'll be writing the log base 6 of 1 over 216 is equal to negative 3. Let's take this one. Rewrite it as a log. It is the log base 15 of 3375 is 3. So the question is, what is the log base 4 of 2 is 1/2. Why? Because 4 to the 1/2 power is equal to 2. Okay, you got it? Then let's look at let's look at the last few examples here. Okay? Now, suppose we're going to evaluate the log base 8 of 16. Now, although your calculator can compute answer to these, it is important to be able to evaluate these by hand or without a calculator. Just thought I would make that known. All right, so let's say we're doing the log base the log base 8 of 16. First thing I would do is, I don't know what that is. So I'm going to put a y in for, I don't know what the answer is. But now that I have it here, I can rewrite it in exponential form. All right, so rewritten in exponential form, so we should be able to, so the log base 8 of 16 equals y can be rewritten in exponential form. Once we write in next form, then the next thing we should do is rewrite both sides of the equation using the same base. So how do we do that? Well, we use our calculator. We can go to the calculator and we can factor, hit menu 2, 3, and we can factor 8. That's 2 to the power 3. And we can do factor 2, 3, 16. And that's 2 to the power 4. So what does that buy us? Then that means instead of 8 can be written as 2 to the power 3. And 16 can be written as 2 to the power 4. And don't forget about the y. Since the bases are the same, you can drop the bases and solve the resulting equation. So drop the bases and just solve what the remaining equation. Of course, you know, You can solve this linear equation by dividing both sides by 3. So your final answer is y is equal to 3. And that's example 3. Let's use the same thing with the log base 3 of 81. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite in exponential form, right? In order to do that, I'm going to put a y. So rewrite, I get this. And then, because that's true, I can write that. Then once I can drop, before I can do that, then I can rewrite both sides of the equation using the same base. So if I go to my calculator, menu, oops, I want to do that. Sorry, I didn't want to do that. Let's try this again, menu 2, 3. And I'm going to factor, what am I going to factor? Go back to the problem here. I factor 81. So let's factor 81. 3 to the power 4. So that means that 3 to the power y is the same as 3 to the power 4, which implies that y must be equal to 4. Okay? That's what we did. We dropped the bases and solved the resulting equation there. All right, let's try the last one. Suppose we have the log base 1/2 of 256. There's the original problem. I'm going to rewrite the exponential form. All right. Then I'm going to rewrite both sides of the equation using the same base. I know that 1/2 is equal to 2 to the power negative 1. 256 can be written as 2 to the power 8. Then I'll drop the bases and solve the resulting equation. That's this. Divide both sides by negative 1. And y is equal to negative 8. And so, there are your examples. So, go ahead and complete the rest of the sheet and don't forget to upload it. Oh, by the way, for example number 3, problems number 11 through 21, or maybe 10 actually, 10 through 21, or like example 3. Problems number 4 through 9, or like example 2. And you guessed it, problems number 1, 3, or like example 1. And that concludes the video.